I got a little bit of space on my phone, so I figured I'd do a little video of the insulating part. So over here, you can kind of see the insulation peeking through the slats, but that's fine. Basically, I got this roll of the radiant barrier used in attics and I think on outer walls. Not very thick, but it'll work for what I'm doing. So during the summer, at least on the port side, the sun was hitting this side of the boat and it got pretty warm in here, even when I had the air conditioner up in the forward hatch here. And when I put the radiant barrier in here, I could tell a big difference between the outer hull and the part that was insulated. So basically the difference between the hull here and the layers, multiple layers of this. And it works really well to keep things cooler in the summer. And I've heard a lot of people also say that even just with the wood slats, it kind of helps insulate with the little bit of the air gap in between. But I think wood does give a little bit of a warmer feel. And I mean that physically, not just aesthetics. So what I'm doing is, like this right here, there's a low spot because of the shape of the hull here. So I got a couple little extra pieces, kind of thicken that spot up, get it a little even. And back behind here, and this one, the bolts for the first and this middle chain plates are there. So gets a little bit different in how the pieces are cut, but for the most part it's all the same. I just need to finish installing the barrier in here, and then I can continue putting these little wood boards up. And then the screws I'm using are not regular Phillips head. Let's see, get that to focus. Okay, there. Kind of look like Phillips head, but it's actually let's see, it doesn't say on the box, but it's called Frierson, something like that. And it requires a specific type of bit. Let's see if turning the light off would help. Okay, well anyway, you can look online, see the difference between Phillips head and Frierson. And using the little cordless drill here kind of goes quicker, but for the most part, what I'm doing with these is replacing the screws that were on here, which are all flathead. These things are a pain because any bits, whether a regular screwdriver or with the drill, keep sliding off. So at least with these ones, they'll lock into place. They screw down easy, same exact size. They're number 6 and what was it, 3/4 inch long. So number 6. Got these at Jamestown Distributors, and you can kind of see on this side there's quite a few spots where it was, from over here, every once in a while, and every board has several screws. And I plan on putting the insulation in behind where the quarterberths are too, and that'll be a lot more screws to replace as well. So I just wanted a quick shot just to look at how that's all going together. I mean, not too complicated, fairly simple. And here it is. Got everything up on the starboard side for the most part. A little dusty and dirty just from especially like that little shelf right there, but that's just because of all the other work I've been doing. The reason I say for the most part is a few of these spots. Yeah, let's see, these three, and there's one back in here, right there. But can't put anything there because just where they at. They broke. So these two broke when I was trying to remove and replace. Let's try light on here. Okay, let's shine this stuff all the way. And this shows how long they're supposed to be. Yeah, I had forgotten about some of the screws breaking because when I tried, at least for these two, the ends were getting worn down just because, you know, it was kind of going back on the ends of these two and the other ones that were missing. But otherwise, for the most part, that's all back in. And then another thing on this side, there's a few, well, maybe a few, but at least two of the flatheads. This one, and I think there's another one back in there. Couldn't get a good grip on that with a screwdriver, and it just wanted to start stripping and didn't want to come out, but it's held in there anyway. It's not going anywhere. So let's try backing up a little bit. So got the port side up, everything's looking pretty good. Starboard side is now up, so it's kind of good. I got these pieces out of the way. The reason I had the slats off were changing the chain plates. I still need to reinstall the ones behind the nav disc and the galley sink, but those pieces are smaller. But now that everything's installed again, everything's kind of out of the way again, and at least some sense of accomplishment. Got one small thing completed. But every little bit helps. It's working pretty good. And then, since I have all this insulating material, I'm going to put this in. Do the same thing at the quarter berths with that. Another thing I wanted to note is this box of screws. 100 came in this. I just counted what was left in this box, and there's only 15 left. And that was to do both sides of, you know, the Salon Vberth area. And then since I had already planned on doing the quarter berth also, both of them, I have another box ready to go. And, you know, all the old stuff that's, well, probably going to get thrown out. No, don't think there's anything in here that I really need or could use, really. I just want to get rid of all the flatheads. Those things, definitely don't want those again.